Hello and welcome to this fourth video tutorial for this chapter, Chapter 7, Central Tendency. Today we will be solving one more question, that is question number 9. And I'm very happy that all of you are following the tutorial and at the same time you all are solving the questions, the homeworks which I've given you. So just keep watching tutorial and at the same time keep solving these questions. All right. Okay. So in today's question, it's a little complicated and it's a little lengthy. So it will take some few, like it is more time consuming. But I'm sure all of you will understand it. So just watch and listen carefully. All right. Okay, so let's read the question. Question number 9. The mean of the following frequency distribution is 50, but the frequency F1 and F2 in the classes 20 to 40 and 60 to 80 are missing. Find the missing frequencies. So here what it is saying that the mean of the frequency is already, frequency distribution is already given. Okay, it is given that mean is equal to 50. However, what it's saying that in the class interval 20 to 40 and 60 to 80, two of the frequencies are missing here. It's F1 and F2. We have to find these two frequencies. Okay, so let's start. And also remember there's a hint given here. Don't forget to look at that as well. And the question just below the box, there is a hint given saying that n is equal to 120. That means here the sum of the frequency, okay, the value of n is also given here, that it is 120. It is already given in the textbook. You don't have to calculate. Although F1 and F2 it is missing, but the hint is also already given that if you add up all this, that means you're going to get 120. Okay. So remember what I told you in the beginning of the session, that in my previous tutorials, that if you're not asked to calculate by specific method, or if it is not mentioned there, I have told you all to follow the direct method, which is the easiest method of all, right? So that is what we're going to do. We're going to calculate this question in direct method. Okay. All right. So what you have to do for direct method, the formula is what? Mean is equal to sigma fm by n, right? So you need fm. So for that you have to calculate midpoint, right? M. Okay, let's write down the class intervals. So 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 100. It is already given in the class interval. You write it down. Next we have to find out midpoint. How do we calculate midpoint? Upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2, right? So 20 plus 0, 20 divided by 2 is 10. So the midpoint here, how to calculate midpoint? Again, I'm showing you 20 plus 0 divided by 2, which is 20 by 2, which is equal to 10. So that means here the difference is 10 here. All right. So similarly, you can find out add up all this and then you can divide it by 2 and get it. Or other way is if it is 10, so that means you can add up 10 here in lower limit. 20 plus 10 is 30, 40 plus 10 is 50, 60 plus 10 is 70, 80 plus 10 is 90. That way also you can find your midpoint. Okay. So yeah, we have already written down a midpoint: 10, 30, 50, 70 and 90. Now let's write it down the frequency as well, whatever it is given there. All right. So 17, F1, 32, F2 and 90. Frequency is already given. And you can write it down below here. N is equal to 120 because in the hint question it is already given that N is equal to 120. Now let's find out cumulative frequency. So how do we find out CF? We have to keep on adding one after the other. Okay. The first value is 17. The second is what? F1. So what you have to do, you have to add up this two again. After that, you have to add this one, and after that this one, and after that this one. You have to keep adding all of it. Okay, so this is how you find out cumulative frequency. So first is 17, So 17 plus F1 will be 17F1, 17 plus F1. The next one is 32. So you can plus 17 and 32, you will get 49. 49 plus F1. Yeah, you cannot add up F1 because there is no number here. Next is F2. So F1 is separate, F2 is separate. So you can write again 49 plus F1 plus F2. The last one is 19. So 49 plus 19 will be 68. 68 plus F1 plus F2. Why are we calculating this one? Because that you will get to know in the later part. Alright, so this is mostly actually not required, but then you can always calculate it in order to find out the value of F1 and F2. Alright, okay, so the last one is you have to find out FM. So FM is again frequency into midpoint. So 10 into 17 is 170. 30 into F1 will be 30 F1. Okay, it will not be 30 plus F1 since it is multiplication, so it will be 30 F1. 50 into 32, if you multiply, you will get 1600. 70 into F2, you will get 70 F2. 90 into 19, you will get 1710. Clear? So now you add up all these numbers. So whatever number that you can add up, you add it up, and the rest, the F1 and F2 value, you just keep it like that. Okay? So here, see, just a second. You see here. 170 plus 1600 plus 1710. If you plus this one, and this one, you will get 3480. That is 3480 plus 30 F1 plus 70 F2. All right. So you just keep it like this. Okay. Now let's move on to next part. So I told you why we calculate this one, because we have to find out the equation here, right? So you just put it down here. 68 plus F1 plus F2 is equal to 120. Why? Because if you add up all this, okay, this is what we have done, right? We have add up this one. So this is equivalent to 120. So that is why we have wrote here that 68 plus F1 plus F2 will be equal to 120, right? So F1 plus F2 is equal to, now there is no F1 here, so what you can do is you can take this F68 value and here. So all the variables on one side, and other than the numbers that you can put it the other side. So you remember in maths what we do, if we are moving it in the other portion, other side, we have to change the sign, right? So there's plus value here. If there's nothing, that means it is plus value. So if you are moving it to the other side, then it will be minus value. Now 120 minus 68 will be equal to 52. So you can write this one as equation 1. So this is equation 1. Equation number 1. Okay, so keep it like this for now. Now what you have to do, you have to find mean value. Okay, you have to find the mean value. Now remember in the question it says the following frequency distribution is 50. The mean of the following frequency distribution is 50. It is already given in the question that the mean is 50. So now here similarly, you have to write down the formula. Mean is equal to sigma fm by n. So 50 mean is equal to 50. It is given 50 is equal to, we calculated F1. Yeah, we calculated this one. Yes or no? We calculated sigma fm, right? So here, this value, you have to put it here. Clear? So 3480 plus 30 F1 plus 70 F2. Now, divided by 120. N value, we know it is 120. So, divided by 120. Now, since it is a very, it's quite a big figure. So, what you can do is you can take out a common from here. Yeah, so you can see that there's you see all 0, 0, 0 here. So we can take out 10 as a common, right? So 10 into 348 will be 3480. 10 into 3 will be 30. 10 into 7 will be 70. So we took out 10 as a common here, all right? Just to, shrink it down, the numericals here, to bring it, you make it small, right? So it will be easy for us to calculate later. So here, 10 and 120. You can cut both the zeros, right? Let me just show it. So yeah, we cut it, strike it down both the zeros, and after which what we do, we can do cross multiplication, right? So you remember, if there's nothing here, then we consider this as what? 1. We consider it as 1. So 1 into this one, you can write it down here. So see, you can just not to make confusion, what we can do, just a second. All right, let me just clear this and rewrite it again for you. Okay. All right. Okay. So see, I said this one, sorry. Okay. So here, if there's nothing, what do we consider? We consider this as 1, right? Now, here, if you cross multiply 50 and 120 and this one, this is what cross multiplication looks like. So 1 into, there's nothing here, so 348, so you can just write it down, 348 plus 3f1 plus 7f2 is equal to, you can multiply 50 into 12. So 50 into 12, how much will it be? 348 plus 3f1 plus 7f2 is equal to 600, right? So now what you can do next, you have to keep all the f value in one place, and the one whichever that there's no f, you can take it the other side. So since it's plus value here, so if it goes here, it will become minus. So 3f1 plus 7f2 equal to 600 minus 348. Now if you minus this one, you will get 252. So this becomes what? Equation 2. So this is equation number 2. Okay, this is equation number 2. Now, the reason why we put equation 1 and 2, this is how we will find out, the f1 value here, all right, or f2 value. Now, you remember in f1, in f1 you see 3f1, in f1 you just have f1 plus f2, right? But in equation 2, you see you have 3f1. So what we can do now is that we can multiply equation 1 by 3, okay, in order to make it look similar, so that we can subtract it, right? So multiplying equation 1 by 3, we get, so here I'm just going to write it down for you, okay? In equation 1 we had f1 plus f2 is equal to 52. This was equation 1, okay? So if you multiply this by 3, we get 3 into f1 is 3f1, right? 3 into f2 is 3f2. Now 3 into 52 will be 156. This is what, how we get 3f1 plus 3f2 is equal to 156. Okay. Now we will be solving both equation 1 and equation 2. Now if we say solving equation 1 and equation 2, we get, you put down all the value of equation 1. Now see, you can cut it, strike it down, right? 3f1 plus 3f2 is equal to 156. That is equation 1. 3f1 plus 7f2 is equal to 252. That is what? Equation number 2. Remember this one, right? So this is equation number 2. Now here. So when you look into this, here, you remember what we do in maths? Yeah? If it is plus sign, you have to make it minus. If it is plus sign, you have to change the sign, right? So if there's nothing written here, that means we consider it as plus, right? So if this is plus, we have to make it minus. Plus, minus, this is plus, so make it minus. So here, so this is plus, right? Plus into minus, minus. So you strike it off, right? So plus into minus, minus. And then the 7 is bigger than 3, so you keep the sign as minus, and then you subtract it. 7 minus 3, you get 4. 4f2. Now 256 minus 156, you get 96. And you put the minus sign because the value is more here, right? So minus 96. Now you can also strike off minus value and minus value, 2 minus value. Now f2 is equal to 96 divided by 4. So this will go down, and if you divide this one, then 4, you get 24. All right, so F2 is equal to 24. Now we have the value of F2. So what we will do here is that we will put this value of F2 in equation 1. You remember equation 1 again? Yeah? So equation 1 is F1 plus F2, right? Now we're about to finish, right? Okay? Now, putting F2 is equal to 24. We just found out F2 is equal to 24, right? F2 is equal to 24 in equation 1. What we get? F1 plus F2 is equal to 52. This is equation 1. All right. So now F1 plus F2, in place of F2, what you will write? You will write 24. In place of F2, you will write 24 because what it is saying here, putting F2 in equation 1. F1 plus F2 is equal to 52. F1 plus 24 is equal to 52. Now this value will go this side. F1 is equal to 52 minus 24. So if you minus this one, you will get 28. So we found out F1 also, we found out F2 also. So finally, the required missing frequencies, sorry, there's a mistake here. Okay. Missing frequencies, CIES. Yeah. The required missing frequencies are F1 is equal to 28 and F2 is equal to 24. Then this is your answer. All right. So with this, we have come to the end of question number 9. I hope it is clear to you. I want you all to watch this tutorial and listen to this tutorial carefully because this question is very important. Okay. If you are finding it difficult, you can ask me the question in online class. All right. If you have any doubt, you can clear your doubts in online class. So to clear your doubts, you have to be present in the online class. Okay, we have classes every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we have off, Thursday and Friday, 4 days a week. We often meet around 11. Okay, I give the link in the class school WhatsApp group, class WhatsApp group. You have to click on that link. We come together in Google Meet. Okay, you have to download that if you haven't. So yeah, if you have any doubt, like I said, you can ask me in the Google Classroom. We will clear your doubt. I will clear your doubts there. And for now, you have to watch. Don't try to copy the answers while watching the video. Just watch the video properly, and then you can try by yourself. And in between, if you have any doubt, you can watch it again and again try to do it. All right. And even after that you are not able to understand, then I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You can ask me anytime. Okay. So yeah, this is it for today's video. Question number 10, 11, we will be solving it in the next tutorial. All right. So take care, and I'll see you in the next video.